what we're talking about here is really, we're familiar with the story of the great entrepreneur, of the entrepreneur who was redeemed by his experience with his business, the redemptive power of entrepreneurship, and how that, is a great story to tell. And it is a great story to tell, and those are compelling stories, and they certainly ignited the initial movement within the discipline for entrepreneurship education. But we want to maintain focus on skill development and really on practical solutions, tool sets, skills that students can get, as opposed to worshiping the great entrepreneur who clearly did great work. We want to focus on the real practical skill building. So this is more a style versus substance type question, and we just ask that you certainly, while engaging entrepreneurs and bringing them to your classroom and motivating them to be part of your educational experience, help work with them to really pull out things that are more skill-oriented, that are more kind of on things that can be replicated by a student versus the grand story, itself.
Yeah, and one of the questions I asked my class when we started is, why are you taking this class? And a lot of times they say, well, I have to take this class because I need these hours. But some of them say, I have a passion for music, and I have a passion for starting a business. And then we try to unpack that a little bit and say, okay, what does passion mean? And I am of the opinion that passion is a skill set. It's not something that, in terms of, it's not something that is equivalent to an epiphany or something that happens overnight. And we have had this conversation. I've had this conversation with Jerry and several of you. And it is, what does that mean to say you have passion for this? And then that sort of goes towards this mythical perspective of, okay, an entrepreneur is an all omnipotent person that can overcome everything that they are encountering, and it's not true. It's just methodical pieces of knowledge and skill sets that you use and gather as you go along that make the business creation possible. And even when you start a business and after that process is established, you have to fight to keep it alive. So we try to unpack. I call it the Bill Gates syndrome because everybody wants to be the Bill Gates or Michael Dell. So it's really focusing on, okay, it's okay to be a Subway franchise owner. There's nothing heroic about it, perhaps, but it's entrepreneurship, and it's sort of that point that we are trying to emphasize.
I think we need to take a look at those of you who've been in the field for a while of the journey and where it's been and where it's going. And I'm certainly not advocating that we take the enthusiasm out of programs and just make them rather prescriptive. But I think we also have to look at a situation of we get students all excited about something and they say, yeah, let me in, put me in, coach, put me in. And then we don't give them a game good enough to develop their skills. And I think that's one of the issues that we as a discipline face at this point. We get the students enthusiastic, we get them interested, and then we have to be able to have enough content there, enough exposure to practitioners to be able to let them practice it and decide really on a hands-on basis whether this is for them. And that's how we keep their passion and being successful in playing the game.